Ms. Miller, we want to thank you for coming and participating this evening and answering a few questions about your race for City Council. We would like to ask you to keep your answers fairly brief if you can, so that we can cover as much territory as possible, but we do appreciate your coming along.
You're welcome.
I want to begin, even though you're an incumbent, to give us a little of your life background and the experiences that you've had in bringing to the City Council.
Okay. I was elected, I think it was 1988, not for sure, but through the single member district. Of course, 3 of us was elected at the same time. 3 blacks were elected at the same time. And I am Marian Miller, as you stated, and long life resident of Lawrence. Only moved away when I went off to college, and then I lived in Charlotte for 13 years and came back, and that's when the single member district was filed after I returned back home. And looked everywhere for somebody to run for City Council. At that time, there was no interest, but since I've been elected as City Council, I don't consider it as my seat. It is Ward 1 of District 1, and it came about through single member district. And when it first got elected, it was a 71% black district, minority district, and then they changed it to 65, and now I think it's 58 now. I'm not for sure exactly what it is, but that's how I got on the City Council, because we couldn't find anybody else to run, and so I ran and been there ever since. Now, since I've been there, I've been through 4 mayors, and 2 city administrators. And one of the things that we did since I've been there, we got a unified pay period as to when they get paid, because they wasn't getting paid in a rotated base like they are doing now. Also, they got 2 holidays that they was not receiving prior to. They got better insurance. Benefits are greater now than it was when I first went on. The city is more accountable. When we had a city administrator, as to regardless of what it was, we were more informed as a city council with a city administrator. It's something that I hope and pray that we will get back, is a city administrator. So that's more or less like what have taken place. And the improvement of the city itself and working together as one have really improved the working relationship with the blacks and the whites. Really have improved since I've been on council. And the morale of the employees have really gotten good, but right now it's kind of down, but it's kind of up now because they went 3 years without a pay raise or 5 years without a pay raise. So that's where we are right now.
Okay, thank you. Briefly, if you could, tell us what you think would be the 3 biggest issues that will confront City Council if you were re-elected in the next term. If you could just kind of list, I know you can't tell what the future is going to bring, but just maybe 3 things that you think are likely to be an issue.
Right now, of course, economy is one of the biggest things, and our employees as far as increase. One of the biggest thing is the, let me see what we would say, the evaluation of city employees to get increase. That would be one thing. Hiring a city administrator, what this city called for is a city administrator. This is something that I would love if we elect to see that we get that back. And the other thing is to increase the housing situation in Lawrence, to see what we can do, because we have a lot of homeless people. We have a lot of people who, when Upper Savannah government came and rehabbed these houses, it's been 20, 30 years ago, and people really need their home that can't afford to get repairs like roof and stuff. And the money that we had with community development block money, if see that to those people that got their house fixed, to start collecting that money from those people who got those grants. There wasn't no grant, those loans. especially like in the Holmes Court area and the Jersey area, the places it was, and we have just dropped the ball on that. So if we can do that, that would help somebody else get their home repaired.
All right, thank you. I know that the city council races and school district and all of that are listed as nonpartisan races,
Right.
but I'd like to ask you a couple of questions about your political and governmental philosophy. We all have philosophies in life and they come to bear in whatever we're doing, so I want to ask you a couple of questions about that. Do you think as a general principle that we are better off with more government or less government rules and regulations and participation in our lives?
I think we are better off with the government that we have now. I don't think that we should add anything else to the people. I think people should have their say-so as how things should be run in their home or in their city rather than dictatorship. I do not believe in that. And I think the government at times dip too much into one's personal life or one's life period as to how things should be. You know, rules are made to be broken, but when you make rules, you should think collectively of all people, regardless of what it is, the rich, the poor, the black, the white, the Latinos, or whoever it is. We should think global.
Okay. Along that, kind of as a follow-up, you were talking about the effects of these laws on all of the people. Mm-hmm. Do you think that a lot of problems that government runs into with the people has to do with the unintended consequences? Someone comes up with what sounds like a good idea, but they don't stop and think, well, what's this going to cost down the road, or how's this going to affect people? Do you think unintended consequences is a problem? Very
much so. That's just like unfunded mandate. They put so much on municipalities, or they put so much on the county government without giving them any funds to act upon that what they putting on them. So therefore, I think, especially unfunded mandate and the tax. Right now, we somewhat like Washington D.C. taxation without representation. But yes, we have representation. But what is being put upon us is like, to me, like, with the tax purpose, like the rich is getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. Everybody's still at a standstill, you know. So unfunded mandate is one of the biggest things, and I think this is what have a great effect on the economy.
Okay, and particularly you're thinking of the unfunded mandates that come from the federal government?
The federal government and the state government. And also with our education system that is really almost to the pit right now. It is really, public education is something that really should be looked at rather than, it's okay to have private school, charter schools, but here we go again with unfunded mandate as far as getting the private schools or the charter school, the taxpayer money still. That's a choice. I'm not against it, but yet when you look at it, the money is not there. They're taking away from the public school, so why you can't add to that? Here we go again with the unfunded mandate that's mandated for them to have charter school, private school, but yet they're not giving us money for it. Okay. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. Do you think that the property tax rate in the city at the present time is too high, too low, or just right, or?
I can only speak for myself because I just started paying taxes. I live in a home house, mm-hmm. and my mother lived until she got 96. So therefore she was on homestead exempt. Right now, my tax is very high for where I live and for the house. I don't know about other people, but I think at this point, they need to reassess property value, especially about the house that I live in now. It is I'm 65, so I was 4 years old. It's 62 years old. And it's going up rather than coming down. But, you know, to me, I think it's too high to answer your question.
So you think the appraisals are too high, particularly with the devaluing of property during this economic turn?
Right, exactly right.
Does the city council have any power over that?
No,
Okay.
no.
Except to complain about it.
And that's all, except to complain and listen to people complain.
Okay. All right. Well, we appreciate you coming tonight and answering these questions. And again, thank you for
I hope I
coming.
answered them good, so, it's just, thank you for having me. Thank you.